AA, see you in church. Hi, I'm Manuel. Um, I decided to go ahead and do this because I'm so different. Anyway, I was watching the Goth characters on YouTube, and it's interesting. Um, they're always showing all these different characters and all this stuff, and I'm like, okay. But it could be because I didn't stay that long in the Goth world. I was there for 10 years. You're saying, well, that's a long time, Manuel. Well, because when I started, I was young, and we used to go, and my friend, her family's rich, and I was dating her. And we'd get clothes from, what do you call it? The Salvation Army. And they liked the velvet. I mean, not velvet, the lace. So we'd go pick up these lace dresses. But see, a lot of those lace dresses didn't have a lining underneath. They were just the lace. They had sewn them, and I was surprised because usually you'll sew lace on fabric because you don't want it to move too much. And whoever had done this, brilliant lacers, they made the lace that by hand. So we would find in certain locations beautiful lace dresses. They were families, their family died or whatever, so we would go to those and pick up white wedding dresses, white regular dresses, and what you do is you wash them really well. And everybody says, you don't wash those dresses. Yeah, you do. Why? Because you're taking all the dirt off of them. Plus, you're taking off of like a coating that will, protect them. And you wash them with a little bleach, and you wash them really good. And we used to go as a group, and we washed the dress really good. They were saying, well, if you dye your dresses, they came out gray. I guess they could have, but ours never did. What we did was we would get a big tub, I mean a real big tub, and you'd put one box of blue dye, dark, 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 dark blue in there, and you swirl it. Then you put 4 boxes of black, and because it was big, and you swirled it and swirled it and swirled it until it was black dye with a touch of blue. So it would make it midnight black. Anyway, since you washed the dresses really well, you would now take the dresses and put them into the bucket, which was already I think it was about that much, not water in the bucket. And you put one dress, and then you put the other dress because we were dyeing for two. And we put whatever we wanted black in there with it. And you leave it there for like two 2 days. A lot of people say you're not supposed to do that, but we did. And the funny thing is, her grandmother had one of those old wash machines, and I remember those. My mom had one. And my brother stuck his arm into it like an idiot. So they had unhooked the top. He took his arm out and you put it, and it would squeeze the liquid out. Well, since they dyed what they were going to dye in it in that color, we would ring them through there. And then if it didn't get dark enough, we put them back into the bucket, which it usually did. But sometimes we did that. And it was just beautiful fabric. Not fabric, but the yarn. It was beautiful. And after doing that, we'd wash it. Um, well, we didn't really wash it. What we do is we get it through there and we wring it really good. Then we would empty out the dye because we weren't dyeing anything else. We rinse it the bucket really good. Then we would put the same amount of water and you pour vinegar into it because you're color fasting it. If you're doing satins or silks will get shiny because of the vinegar. It'll make it prettier. We were doing cotton, so we were still color fasting it. You could put salt, but salt has a tendency to break down the fabric. So we were just using vinegar. And vinegar shrinks it, so we got it bigger, so it usually equaled it out. Anyway, we'd vinegar it. Um, we made bodices out of the colors we liked. Me and my significant other at that time, we wore red or maroon. It was more maroonish. So she had a bodice made out of maroon, like silk, um, satin, and it was shiny. So you had the beautiful color underneath the dress, and then you would put on top the crocheted dress, and it just looked beautiful. So then you would soak it, then you wring it, and then she had that old washing machine, so you just throw it into the water and rinse it. You throw it in the water again and you rinse it. And then at the end, you throw soap to get rid of all the excess vinegar and the excess dye. And it would wash that out, and then you would wring it through the machine again, and you would hang it up to dry on hangers, or you can put it in which we've done that too. You put it in blankets and you fold the blankets up white, and you let that soak the water out of the fabric, and then you hang it up and you spread it out after a while of that, and it just looked beautiful. It would be black, and would have like bouquet roses and all that kind of stuff, and it was just beautiful. But they originally were white or cream. Anyway, that's how we got our look. And I had a little hat that just was like a little hat that sat on the back of my head, and my friends used to tease me because it wasn't as big as Boy George, but the rim was about that much. Boy George's is about that much, and it just sat on the back. Someone said it was like a menorah or something like that. It's the little Jewish hat that they wear back there. Well, mine was that hat with the rim. That's what they said. And I said, no, it's bigger. But anyway, I would wear that. And I would wear a red shirt with a little black vest and a little black jacket and black pants and black boots. They were these weird boots. They're selling them now, but to women, which I think is hilarious. I saw them. I was applying for work there, and they had the shoes that I used to wear, but they're selling them to women now. And there was this joke in the olden days about women that wear flats were lesbians. And I always said, why do you say that? They said, well, because only sexy women wear high heels. Unsexy women wear flats, because who wants to look like a giant clown foot? Plop, plop, plop. So you wear heels that makes your leg more sexy. and they wore stockings, beautiful stockings. And the girl I used to do that with all the time, she wasn't allergic to nylon. The last girl I dated, she was allergic to nylon, so she always wore silk with garter belts and everything. It was real sexy. So anyway, so I used to always, we always seemed to go to a club and we had a good time. There was punk music and other music, and then we'd go to this diner. The club closed. It was more like a warehouse ish sort of thing, but the club closed when I left about the same time. I had started hanging out with another group of friends, and the diner I think was closed too. The diner's still there, the building, but it's a bar. Well, it keeps changing. 1 minute it's a bar, and the next minute's not, and the next minute's a bar again. And we used to go over there and sit down. They were 24 hours, and we'd go and sit down and eat and hang around. And he used to call us our little his little goths. He said, "What?" He said, "Well, you're goth, aren't you?" And we're like, "Okay." See, we didn't categorize ourselves because we didn't do this because we were trying to be goth. We did like everything goth, but it wasn't because we were trying to be goth. We were just being us. That's the way we saw it anyway. So I sort of think it's funny when people are trying to categorize this, the different goth things, because we wore velvet, we wore lace, we wore black all the time, but with red, and the other ones wore blue, a beautiful dark blue she wore, and he did too. And there was another guy that hung out with us. He was sort of crazy. He always had that friend, and his girlfriend, she was real quiet. And I was like, "How can you be with him? You're really quiet and he's really crazy." She says, "It evens us out." And I'm like, "Okay." It didn't matter to me. I just asked her. And it was just funny. But we didn't categorize this. Now, when people start saying, "Well, where you were punk," I'm just like, no, they looked different. I don't care how much you want to try to trend us out. We're goth. If we really want to categorize us, that's what we were. We were goth. We wore what we wanted to wear, but it was usually black. I wore that for years. Even when I worked in a store, I had a lot of black. I had black jackets, and then I started adding expensive jackets to my list, and gold with black shirts. And I started adding color. My color was red, so I would wear red with black shirts, black jackets and everything. But see, we did that because we wanted to. We weren't trying really to be anything. That's who we were. We weren't categorizing that. And then the stupidest questions I've heard is, "Weren't you devil worshippers?" No, stupid ass. We just could see the beauty in what God made, like skeletons. He took him a lot to design that humanity, and stuff like that. Spiders, all kinds of stuff like that. Crows. We saw the beauty, even though you don't. But we're not going to force that on you. If you don't like the way we look, we're not forcing you to dress like us. It's up to you how you dress. Don't blame us that you don't have any taste or whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying because you don't wear black. It's because you don't have the know how to dress yourself. I've known lots of goths that are wearing clothes that are the clothes are wearing them. We wore our clothes, and people knew us because they knew how we looked, and we always had our own flavor and everything. I remember a friend saw me wearing my black and gray sweater, and she goes, "Oh, is that how you wear that sweater?" And I go, "No, that's how I wear the sweater. You can wear it however you want to. This isn't the way you're supposed to wear it, it's just the way I wear it." And she goes, "Oh." And I said, "Yeah, if you want a copy, that's fine. I don't have a problem. I'm just letting you know. You don't have to wear it this way." And that's why, and she got later on, she says, "So that's why you always say you should wear your clothes, not the clothes wear you." And I say, "Yeah." And I tell them that, and it's the same reason why all I have to do is look at a picture, and I'll pick out some shirts for one of my friends that I work with, and she'll take them home, and the husband says, "Oh, okay, I'll wear this. I like it." And she's like, "Oh my God, I've like taken thousands of shirts for you to try on." And she goes, "I don't know." And I just go grab some shirts, and I said, "There you go. If he don't like them, then just bring them back. You've been doing that forever." And she was like, "Oh, I'm tired of it." And I'm like, "Well, I picked them." And he kept them all. It's because, see, you're dressing them for what you want him to look like. I'm dressing him for what he looks like, what he prefers. And I'm not putting anything on you or on that person. But, it's really up to you. I've always been that kind of person that doesn't see you as a god. I see you as you. I don't think about myself as being a god. I think of myself being Manuel. So my friends were the same way. We would wear what we wanted to wear, and if people had a problem with it, we didn't care. We would say like, "Oh, well, now I don't have to worry about you dressing like me." Which they really couldn't, because we went and made our own clothes most of the time. Like, I sewed onto a shirt a vest, and you would button the vest, and then you would button the shirt, then you would button the vest. And it was fun. It was black. The shirt was black, the vest was black with um, gold buttons. No, with silver. And that was just my thing. I had a huge trench coat. I'm going to see if I can get another one. I saw one on Wish, and I'm going to take a chance and order it. Anyway, that's what I always tell people. You got your look. If your significant other wants you to wear more color, you just add a colored shirt. If you're wearing all black or blue, add another color to it and wear that color like their favorite color. So if you're wearing blue pants, then put green shirt or whatever color that she likes. But don't get rid of your whole wardrobe, because you never know if that person is going to be permanent in your life. And then you think, I should have kept all that clothes. Who knows? But remember to subscribe to my channel, leave me a message, tell me what you think, put the hand up. I do it at the beginning because I have the tendencies to forget. And remember, AA, see you at church.